Hello, and welcome to Find Out Nation. I'm one of your hosts, Jaime.
I'm one of your hosts, Nicole.
And we're back. We are
back.
finally back. We are
Yes.
so sorry. We have been gone for, what,
2
weeks now?
2 weeks. Yeah.
I was in New Orleans for one of those weeks, which was relatively tame compared to some of the stories we're going to talk about today. And then I had some plastic surgery to have some loose skin removed from my arms. So I'm recovering from that surgery, but I got my ass in gear so that we could, because like we picked the worst two, like it.
Oh my God.
I say this, you and I were talking about this.
Yeah.
Like it feels like the worst 2 fucking weeks to take off from the podcast because so much happened.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, like when you go back and watch all, like it's not like we've had a week where we're like,
hey, this would have been a good one to have like, yeah, exactly. This would have been a good one if we didn't have anything to talk about. We could have like skipped it. Yeah, no. But I want you to show your sexy arms for the viewers one more time.
Yes.
Look at those sexy arms.
They removed a little over a pound, almost a pound and a half from my arms of dead, nasty skin.
Oh, not nasty, girl.
I know.
I'm so proud of you.
The crazy thing, so I'll have to tell you about this later, but if you ever do have to have a skin removal in your arms, they can't put the IV in your arm, so they have to put it in your foot, and that is weird. So I'll just tell you that.
Oh, that would be weird. But I will say, I want the viewers to know it's literally 1 week today since you've had this surgery, and look how well you look and how well you're doing. And we're back. Like, this is
actually
amazing.
1 week tomorrow, so I'm actually 6 days.
Oh, that's true. Today's Tuesday, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So it's only been 6 days. I drove myself for the first time today. I have not been on any pain narcotics since Saturday. Like, so I'm trying to make sure my brain is with it for y'all. I'm doing the best I can. So we'll see.
Amazing.
We'll see how I do.
It's amazing. You're doing great.
Okay, so it's been a crazy couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But because it has been at least 2 weeks, I feel like the countdown.
You should be excited about the countdowns, right? Like it's been a hot minute since you've had a countdown.
Okay, so give us some numbers.
Okay. Yes. 398 days to the midterms.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's like a year. Like that's all that is a year.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I know. 253 days since he took office.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
And there has been 61, because last time, I had said that they'd had the caveat put on there that unless he's visibly cited. So he was cited the 13th and 14th, as well as Saturday the 20th golfing. So 61 days. So 24% now of his presidency golfing.
Nice. Okay. So, well, glad he's getting his golf time in. Good.
Exactly. Because nothing else is happening.
No, nothing else is happening in the country at all. In fact, it's again a pretty slow couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Really.
We don't even know what we're going to talk about tonight.
What are we going to talk about? Like, let's talk about recipes. I mean, right. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the biggest news that came during this last 2 weeks, or at least the one that I think got the most like attention, was the Charlie Kirk murder.
Yes.
September 10th, he was talking to students on the Utah Valley University campus. He was shot while being filmed, which was insane.
Yeah.
He's rushed to the hospital where it took him several hours, it feels like, to actually pronounce him dead.
Yeah.
So it was pretty vicious. Of course, immediately they were like bringing people in for questioning. They brought 2 people in incorrectly.
Yeah.
Then they finally brought in.
Yeah.
I know.
Cash
shocking.
Patel's running of the FBI is fucked up.
Oh, girl. They were showing a picture of, it was a joke, and it was on The Daily Show that said, did you know that Cash Patel and who was Trump's first press secretary with the lazy eye? What was her name?
Oh, Conway.
Yeah.
Susan Conway.
Wait,
or are you talking about the guy?
No, hang on. Trump's press secretary with lazy eye.
Oh, I love that. That's how you're Googling it.
No, yeah, I know, it's terrible. uh, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Oh, yeah, Miss
That,
Arkansas.
you know, because she has the
I
lazy
forgot
eye.
about her. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
they're like, did you know Kash Patel and Sarah Huckabee Sanders used to date, but they couldn't see eye to eye?
That's fucking horrible.
Like they broke up because they couldn't see eye to eye. I died when I heard that joke.
Oh
Anyway,
my
I'm
God.
so sorry.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. This is very serious.
Don't
so we
be
have
sorry.
to get back
It's
to very serious.
I mean,
so apologies. So yeah, so Charlie Kirk was murdered. They finally figure out, or they finally have accused Tyler Robinson, who's a 22-year-old student who used to, like, he was at Utah Valley, whatever, like several years before the shooting or whatever, who had been on top of the building across from like where they were recording.
yeah.
And he shot him basically. And the way that it looks like, because I guess Charlie Kirk wore a bulletproof vest, and it looked like it bounced off the bulletproof vest and then hit him in the neck, and that's what caused him to unfortunately pass away. I don't know about you. I was very like impressed with the response of the left to be like, shootings are bad, no one deserves to die. Like everyone, Obama, like everyone was very much about, no matter what the, you know, motivations are for the killer, like this is a horrible situation.
Right.
Almost immediately, Donald Trump is like, obviously the radical lefts are out to get us. They're all going to kill us. They're all going to shoot us, like spouting the most divisive rhetoric ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like on the bullets, they did find 2 bullets and then a casing of the bullet that shot Charlie Kirk. And like on it were some messages. All of them point to this like weird online meme gaming
culture
community.
Yeah. Yeah.
There have been like suggestions that he had a boyfriend that was transitioning to be a woman. That like hadn't, you know, gone through the full transition yet or whatever. And that there were text messages that were really weirdly, oddly suspicious sounding between.
And very much written by like a 40-year-old with ellipses and all kinds of things. Now, I have a 22-year-old in my house, and when I said, read this and tell me what you think, and she said, yeah, that's not written by somebody that's 22.
Okay, so my child is 14 and very heavy into the online gaming community.
Yeah.
Like that is his, I mean,
yeah.
One of his very best friends lives in Florida. They met playing Roblox like 10 years ago, and we go out and visit their family.
Yeah.
Like he's very much into online gaming, and he was like, no, a kid didn't, a 22-year-old did not write this. Like,
does
give me a
not
fucking
say
break.
The word vehicle.
Like
yes. It's little things like that where I'm like, yeah, Kash Patel wrote this.
Yes. Yes. And so it's clear to me that they don't, you know, and then Tyler Robinson has said, like, I'm not speaking. I'm not going to divulge my motivation. I'm not going to say anything at all. But the very first thing that it felt like the right plus the media tried to do was pin a motivation on why he did what he did. And because of that, the like divisive rhetoric and the has gone through the roof in the country, which has been absolutely depressing to watch. If I can say that, like it's been absolutely fucking depressing to watch, right?
Yeah.
It's also difficult because like he grew up in a MAGA family. His parents are registered Republicans. He registers as an independent. He like had a Trump Halloween costume. Like there's just so many things. But I'll say this about this because I actually had some friends reach out and were like, hey, in your podcast, let's take it easy. And I'm like, yeah, 100% I get it. But, you know, in my mind, the reality is that this is not a political issue. This is a moral issue. Correct. Killing someone is a moral issue, just like racism is a moral issue and diversity is a moral issue. And like none of this in my mind is political. It's all moral. In this case, yes, the family he grew up in happened to be a MAGA family, but they also were a gun-loving, shooting people, you know, politically, I shouldn't say like just a family centered around like what appears to be violence in a lot of ways. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
they did have him shooting at like 8, 9 years old, and there were
Mm-hmm.
pictures of them out shooting. You know, my family has guns. I know your family has guns. Like,
Mm-hmm.
where I am not a person that is anti-gun by any means. But at the end of the day, we were very conscientious about when we started introducing these things to our child, because we did want to make sure that he was of a developmental age that he could make the moral distinction of what's right and wrong and how to properly handle guns before he had access to a fucking weapon.
Right.
And I think that's where I'm just like, this is the problem with MAGA is not political, it's moral.
Morals
They
and
have a
ethics.
problem with morality. That's my
Mm-hmm.
feeling on it. And I don't know if you feel anywhere near
Oh,
the same way or not.
1000%. I agree. It's a difference in morals and ethics. I will also say that while I don't condone his murder, he was a horrible person.
He was a
Like,
horrible
I will
person.
not manufacture um empathy or sympathy for the fact that he was murdered, because if my queer kid had been murdered in a nightclub, he'd have spit on her fucking grave. So I have not
As
and
would
will
Trump.
not.
As would
Yeah.
Trump.
So I have not and will not be browbeat into manufacturing an emotion that I don't feel for somebody. Like,
Absolutely not.
I'm just so because this was the other thing that was coming out after he got whacked, was that, you know, if you don't feel he was a father, he was a husband, lots of horrible people are fathers and husbands. It doesn't mean that I have to manufacture sadness for their death if they were a horrible person in life.
That's right.
That's just the reality of it for me. And I'm not going to be bullied into manufacturing an emotion that I don't feel, or
Not only that,
apologizing for an emotion that I don't feel. So
that's
that's
right. Not only that, so Mark's one of somebody in Mark's family called me and was like, "Wasn't that horrible what happened to Charlie Kirk?" And my first instinct was, yeah, it was horrible what happened to Charlie Kirk. And it was really horrible when it happened to the Minnesota lawmakers when they were
Melissa
fucking
Horton.
gunned down in their homes.
That's
And
right.
Nancy Pelosi's husband when he was fucking
That's right.
brutally hit in the head with a hammer. But you didn't
Josh
say any of
Shapiro's
that to
family.
me. Right.
Yes.
You didn't say
Correct.
any of that to me.
Correct.
So give me
Yeah.
a fucking break.
So, yeah, so that's my first thing on it, is like, I'm not going to manufacture an emotion that I don't feel. And secondly, I hate that this administration has turned me into a conspiracy theorist,
Oh,
because there has been so
girl.
much shit about, like, there's no way that this 22-year-old kid did this. They're trying to convince us that he walked through that campus, climbed the ladder with a rifle stuck down his pant leg, and then shot him off the roof, disassembled the weapon, got or dropped it off the roof, got down, disassembled the like all these things. And like, there's, you know, then this text message comes out, and they talked about this trans boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. They can't decide what gender they want to, you know, they just want to make the emphasis that the person is trans, but yet
Yep.
they've not brought this person to the light. No one's talking about it now. Like, it's all the things.
So to your point, like, if I actually believed that the things that they're trying to tell us are true are really true, they would be screaming it from the rooftops. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, to your point, if they really did believe that, like, all, like, we would, and the fact that he was dressed all in black on a white rooftop, nobody saw this. You're telling me that your
Right.
Secret Service is so bad at their job that they did not notice this? And then
Right.
to your point, because it's like what it was inside the campus and overlooked. It's not like you are like the book depository that's like on a
And you're
corner
driving
with
by in a car.
5,000
Right.
other bills. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and to your
Yeah.
point, 1000%, they've 1000% turned me into a conspiracy theorist. I
Yeah.
absolutely agree with you on that. Totally.
Yeah. And the fact, I was livid. I'm not even going to pretend that I wasn't. I was fucking livid that Trump put out that we had to keep our flags at half staff through
Oh, God.
the following Sunday night for a private citizen that was a fucking podcaster. He
Yep.
wasn't even a fucking politician. I was livid that JD Vance skipped a 9/11 event as the vice president of this country to fly Air Force 2 to fucking Utah to put a private citizen's casket on Air Force Two and fly it back to Arizona.
Yep.
Absolute load of horseshit. We use taxpayer dollars for a private fucking citizen just because of his connections and his money, and the fact that the vice president 2 days after Charlie Kirk got whacked was running the podcast from Charlie Kirk's chair. Like, this is the whole point of it. Like, it was an opportunity for Vance to be able to, you know, try to get backing because he knows he doesn't have it from MAGA world.
To your point, I am so deep into the conspiracy theories around this. It's like, Charlie Kirk's still alive. Is Charlie Kirk actually? It's like, or did he? Was this premeditated? So because they knew
he wouldn't shut up about the Epstein files.
Did he martyr himself? So just for that, like, I am so deep into, like, if any of our listeners want a podcast after dark episode where we just talk about our unhinged fucking conspiracy theories, you and I are going to have to get a couple drinks and record and put a password on it, and it doesn't go. But seriously, like, I am 1000% with you that I am deep down the conspiracy theories with this whole fucking insanity.
After seeing Erica's first response inside his podcast studio the day after he was murdered, and then seeing her performative bullshit at his WWE type event of a fucking funeral, like, all of it is just not ringing true. And I don't care that she's a widow. I don't care that she's a mother. She's capitalizing on all of this. He hadn't even been dead a week when they announced she was the CEO, when her own fucking husband. So this is what I also want people to understand, is that all of his bullshit about trad wives and how a woman needs to submit to her husband and her home, her job is in the home to raise the children. It's not to work. She shouldn't be in charge of finances. It was all a fucking trope, and they didn't believe any of it. She's highly educated. She was running her own business before he died. She was named CEO before he was even dead a week. It was all a fucking trope, and they weren't even living that fucking life. And all
and we know that.
Bought it. Hook, line, and sinker, just like every other line of bullshit that MAGA sells you. So I don't care that she's a widow. I don't care that she couldn't even wrestle up a fucking tear for him at this fucking extravaganza of a goddamn funeral. Like, I have lots of feelings about it because it's just such a fucking crock of shit. And I'm so sick of seeing online about what a good Christian woman she is because she forgave his killer. Go fuck yourself.
So
it was
so the funeral, what did happen a few days later, and to your point, like,
like Sunday night,
they had the flags at half staff. The House and Senate, I think, both tried to have a moment of, like, silence. And they, like, everyone's like, okay, we can have a moment of silence, but then they wanted to do a whole fucking prayer, and everyone's like, are you fucking kidding me? Give me a break.
Yeah, they tried to get it announced to do a National Day of Mourning. All but 7 of the NFL teams did a fucking moment of silence. Like, this, are you, like, it fucking makes my head want to explode.
I know. Especially because, like, when you look at the Minnesota lawmakers,
he was a podcaster.
Well, that's my thing, is, like, he wasn't even a public servant. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't even a public servant. He was just he was no different from you and I.
Right. He was a private citizen bankrolled by millionaires, and that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Like, it's
so this is what I just don't understand is, is this really where we're at now, where we are perfectly fine, that we're perfectly fine with funding, basically, when, anyway, it's just astounding to me. Like, at least when the Hoffman shooting happened, like, this is a person that was serving government, like, was actually like, right. And Charlie Kirk did that not at all. And yet we are going to, like, I was even trying to think back, like, when some of, like, Jerry Falwell and Tammy Baker and James Baker, like, when they died, I don't remember even doing like flags at half mast and shit like that. Right.
They would have, they would have never, I mean, even when, not Jimmy Swaggart, that's the wrong televangelist. who was the one that?
No, it was Jimmy Swagger, right?
No, he was, because he was kind of like a Tammy Faye Baker. Who's the one that was like the minister to all the fucking presidents? I can see his face and I can't think of his name. As soon as you say his name, I'm gonna hold on, because even when he died, hold on, my microphone's in the way and I can't type.
I was trying to quickly Google, have we ever done a flags at half mast for a private citizen? I couldn't do it fast enough.
Billy Graham. Even when Billy Graham died, they didn't do that shit. And he was like literally the minister to multiple presidents. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, no, it's because he was responsible for bringing in the youth into the MAGA fold in the white nationalist bullshit. That's why they did what they did.
Well, that was crazy. But then there was the spectacle of his funeral.
Yeah.
So I only watched highlights. So
yeah, me too. I didn't. I wasn't about to give it any kind of TV viewing.
Right. I watched her speech where she forgave the shooter.
And everyone stood up and gave her a round of applause.
Yes, which, at the end of the day, I'm like, good for you for like, at least she was trying to heal something in the country, because then
you think
Donald Trump stands up and is like, well, unlike, right, I don't forgive anyone. I hope they all fucking die, basically. Like,
yeah, I hate
what did he say? It was unhinged. I just was absolutely beside myself.
Erica can try to talk to me about it and convince me otherwise, but I hate my opponent.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the rhetoric that he now has come up with is so vile and so strong that it's just like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
I mean, what tends to happen when you end up with dementia? You become hateful and you lash out and you say unhinged things. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so like his funeral was just, so that's all that I watched was her speech and his speech.
Okay.
And I did not watch anything else. So tell me what else. Because remember, we left for like New Orleans the next day.
Yeah.
So tell me what else happened.
So the funeral was, so he was murdered on Tuesday the 10th and the funeral was the following Sunday.
Yeah.
So she comes out dressed all in white.
Yeah.
Like the angel that she is. And as she comes out on the stage, there's pyrotechnics, girl. Like, no shit. Like, we're at a WWE event. There's literal fucking pyrotechnics at the edge of the stage shooting up in the air. And they're cheering for her like it was a fucking political rally. It was a fucking political rally. And she vacillated back and forth between like intense emotion, like almost anger, like you'll never shut us up, you won't be, this kind of bullshit, to then like, but that young man, I forget.
It was so obviously just what I saw was performative.
Yeah,
so I can only imagine
the whole thing was.
I can only imagine.
Then like, RFK Jr. got up there and spoke. Like,
did he really?
Yeah, the entire cabinet was sitting front row. All of Trump's cabinet. Hegseth was there. Department of Education was there. They were all fucking there. And when Trump got up there to speak, so I don't know Trump spoke after her. So when he got up there to speak and she hugged him, have you seen those videos? Okay,
I saw those pictures. And there was even an article I read about how she was like Miss US Arizona or whatever.
Yeah, Miss Arizona. Uh-huh.
And so I get the fact that like it was creepy. There's something there.
Yeah, it was creepy. They were selling merch at his funeral.
Oh God, stop.
Yeah, no, they were selling merch. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, sure were. Yep.
Were they selling Turning Point merch or were they also selling MAGA merch?
I don't know about MAGA merch. It was all of the merch was around Turning Point, and it was, it had Charlie's name on all of it. Like it was, there was merch.
I wonder, do they have
and you
merch
can buy it
about?
You can buy it on the Turning Point website too.
Oh.
Because girl, they'll monetize anything, including your fucking death.
Oh.
And I think Charlie would have loved it. Like that's the thing. I think he would have loved it. I think it's everything he would have wanted.
100%, 100,000%. Like,
I
there's
don't.
no doubt in my mind that this is,
Yeah.
and that's why I say, like, it would not surprise me if, well, I don't know. This is where I feel like this is where the conspiracy theories come in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I do believe that now that she is CEO and, she's taken the reins, this is how we're going to now spin it to the MAGA trad wives, is that you too can be a girl boss. We're going to infantilize the trad wives even more into, now it's okay to be a girl boss because Erica's a girl boss, when she's been that this entire time and they just lied to you and you believed it. And so now they're all going to have to remake themselves in Erica's image as this girl boss, CEO, running things, a bitch doing it for herself out here. You know what I mean? Look at her raising 3 small kids and no man. Like, when everything that they ever talked about on his podcast was that should be the literal only objective that she has right now, is to find a new husband, because she can't exist without a man.
100%. Yeah. All of the merchandise that is on the website now is all about him being dead. Like, we are all Charlie Kirk and Make America Charlie Kirk and like all that shit. Oh my God.
I want to say this
gotta
really
be kidding
quick.
me.
Yeah. And I want to say this really quick too, because I feel like I got us off onto a tangent with my irritation over all this. We also had a school shooting the same day, literally an hour or two after he was murdered. And it got almost no fucking mention. None.
Nothing.
But also a kid that was down deep the rabbit hole of Nick Fuentes and the Groyper movement and this kind of shit and the white nationalist movement. And so, like, I don't want to hear how the left is the one that's demonizing.
So, to your point, since that time, we have had multiple acts.
Yeah.
We have had even specific acts that have been done in the name of retaliation for the Charlie Kirk murder.
Yes.
We have had multiple shootings. We've had 2 men lynched in Mississippi.
Yes.
Found hanging from trees. We have had several mass shootings. The week after we left New Orleans, there was a shooting on Bourbon Street. 4 people were killed.
Yep.
We know that just this last Sunday, there was a truck that was drove into a LDS church, and the guy got out and started firing. At this point, like, the violence has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
And to your point, like, it's all got to stop. Whether it is Republican, Democrat, this is not a political issue. This is a morality
issue.
We are failing in our morality as a country. And the thought that, like, hey, our political leaders are the ones that are going to save us morally. Yeah. That is clearly not the case, because it is.
No, because they're bankrupt morally.
They are bankrupt. And to your point, like, do I feel that my morals align with left leadership, like Obama, and even, people like Jimmy Kimmel, who come out and say things that are like, the death of Charlie Kirk was tragic. So are all these other deaths. So are all these other shootings. Yes, because that's what I believe. So if you are getting on somewhere and saying, I hate my enemy and I think they should die and they should be, you are part of the problem and you have a moral fucking failing.
Right.
That's how I feel about that.
100%.
Anything else about specifically Charlie Kirk? I want to talk about the Jimmy Kimmel stuff next, but anything else specific about the Charlie Kirk stuff? Okay.
No, he can fucking rot. I'm over it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say like go that far, because I'm like, I again, morally, I really am adamantly against it, but Jesus fucking Christ.
No, I'm not saying that no, I agree that he should not have been murdered for it, but I'm not, I'm not. It's just, it is what it is. And the longer we talk about it, he's more annoying now in death than he was even in life. And that's fucking irritating to me. You know what I mean? Point, like, it's just never ending.
I posted on Facebook, I don't support the killing of Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk did.
Yeah.
And I had one of my Republican friends was like, oh, really? He said that? And I was like, he absolutely said, It is worth it to me for people to die to protect our Second Amendment rights. Well, this is that.
Some gun deaths are just going to be unpreventable. Yeah. Like
That's
they
right.
all wanted to act like people were taking his words out of context, and none of that was true. His podcast is readily available. You can go out and listen to all of it word for word.
That's exactly right. And the number of times, anyway, we've talked about this.
I
like
know.
The number of times that he has said this horrific vitriol is beyond. Okay, so all of this happens. Yeah. A reporter is asking Trump a couple days after, I think it was after the funeral. Well, in fact, it was this like around the 16th, 17th time frame. And they're like, hey, Trump, how are you holding up after Charlie Kirk's death? And he's on the lawn of the White House and he's like, fine, I'm doing good. Did you see all the stuff here? We're getting ready to like redo the ballroom, and starts going off in the ballroom. That night, Jimmy Kimmel calls him out, and like, to be clear,
and rightfully so.
That's right. Jimmy Kimmel had been very clear about, I don't support the killing. I don't support this in any way. Like, it's bad. But it doesn't seem that bad to Trump, who is like, yeah, he's dead. Now come look at my pretty ballroom.
Right.
Which, to your point, is very like dementia, like, hello.
He forgot.
And so he says that. And then he says, and the right is clamoring to place blame on the left for what this is. Like, those are the two controversial things that he says.
Yeah.
His show is immediately suspended and he is off the air.
Yeah.
We have never seen political retribution for a comedian saying something, at least in my lifetime, which is longer than a lot of people's. I've never seen that before. That is straight out of like communist China to be like.
And it came after the FCC chair got on a right-wing podcast and said they need to pull him off the air. And if they don't, then we'll have to look at doing some things, stronger with the FCC. Yeah. And so then they pull him. Right. And I'm like, what the fuck are we?
They literally, and this all comes at the time where the network is trying to go through a merger. And so, of course, there's money involved. And so to your point, the FCC is basically like threatening the network, saying, you've got to take him off the air.
Yeah.
So then, bizarrely, JD Vance starts saying that, it's because of, and Trump, it's because of ratings and Jimmy Kimmel's so bad. This lasts for 5 days?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
They finally decide that because so many people had canceled their Disney subscriptions because now Hulu, all of this is like owned by Disney.
Yeah.
And so they decide that, okay, they've got to put him back on air. They put him back on air, but the two major networks, Nexstar and Sinclair, who I guess we are run by some, like where we are in Kansas City, we have some New York company that runs our network. But for a lot of places, they're run by this either Nexstar or Sinclair that are owned by super right-wing, whatever. So they went another like 4 days with not showing Jimmy Kimmel. And he had like through the roof ratings for that time. And they continued like showing ShamWow commercials or whatever. I have no idea what they were showing.
The
right.
My
Like who the
guy.
fuck knows? Maybe. Anyway. And so like, then they finally had to concede and bring Jimmy Kimmel back. And so now Jimmy Kimmel's back on the air. He didn't have to concede anything, which was a huge win. And
they wanted him.
He and JD Vance are now have like this back and forth of, your ratings are bad. You wear too much eyeliner. Like he started calling him like Vice President Maybelline last night, I think is what I heard.
My God. Well, it was ridiculous that they said that in order for him to come back on to Sinclair and Nexstar or whatever, he needed to give a donation to Turning Point USA. He needed to make a donation and he needed to issue a public apology to the Kirk family. That's what he needed. And I'm like, they're shaking him the fuck down. Like this is, it's bad when Ted Cruz is like defending Jimmy Kimmel and his First Amendment rights. Like, shit's off the rails at that point.
That's right. To your point, like this is the first indication, like we have seen egregious illegal activities from the Trump administration. But this is our first step into actual communism. Like Like
Yeah.
there's been other stuff that's like communist light. This is the first like major step. We are becoming communists.
Yeah.
Like we have a communist regime that is running us.
Well,
right?
and I wondered if I wondered if Bill Clinton was sitting at home thinking, damn, I wish I'd have had the balls to do that when I was getting roasted nightly about the Monica Lewinsky shit and the Whitewater shit. You know what I mean? But like back then, you didn't do that kind of shit. And now that,
yeah,
we got this idiot running our fucking country.
I don't know of any, like, I hope that there are other Republicans that, Ted Cruz is a good example. There are other responsible Republicans that are like, I would never do this thing. Right? There has to be. Like Ted Cruz said, hey, this will not end well for us. If you do this, it's like he actually came out and defended that.
Come back around. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know that there are, so I've got to believe that politics in America has not gone so far down the shitter that this is like going to be normal going forward. Right.
You would hope not, but I don't even know what normal is. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. Okay. Well, speaking of wanting to shut people the fuck up, RFK was able to make his big grandiose statement about discovering what's causing autism in the world, which good for him that he made it just under that October 1st deadline.
Yeah, him and the sandworm have made a decision on what's causing it.
That's right. Him and his brain. Yes. So Trump holds a press conference last week, and he finally comes out and says that taking acetaminophen during pregnancy causes autism. The man could not pronounce the fucking word acetaminophen. How many times did he have to say?
Try to say. Yes.
Yes. Before he got the word out, acetaminophen, and could finally say just Tylenol. He's like, Tylenol. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take Tylenol. Hey, pregnant ladies, don't take Tylenol. Okay. The FDA has since come out and said that because I watch a bunch of these doctors and they're like, listen, there has been some studies that say women who take acetaminophen, especially a lot of it, there has been a relationship between the two, but there has been no causal evidence that has said that this is causing this. Right. So like every late night jokester was talking about the difference between correlation and causation, obviously.
Right.
On the FDA's website, it now says the FDA is taking action to make parents and doctors aware of a considerable body of evidence about potential risks. What else does it say? Oh, evidence in recent years has suggested a correlation between acetaminophen using during pregnancy and subsequent diagnosis of conditions like autism and ADHD. Multiple large-scale cohort studies, including the Nurses' Health Study 2 and Boston Birth Cohort, find this association. Some studies have described that the risk may be most pronounced when acetaminophen is taken chronically throughout pregnancy. It is important to note that while an association between acetaminophen and neurological conditions has been described in many studies, a causal relationship has not been established, and there are contrary studies in the scientific literature. Like, come on.
Right.
So you get more pain, you get more headaches during pregnancy. You and I have both been pregnant. We both know this.
Yeah.
So of course, most pregnant women that I know of have taken acetaminophen.
Well, and because it's like the only thing you can take for
It's
for fevers. You are not supposed to take ibuprofen.
That's right. You can't take ibuprofen. You cannot take aspirin. The only thing you can take is Tylenol.
Yes.
Like, come on.
And I love that Trump was like, you really need to tough it out. If you can tough it out, you need to. I mean, I guess if you can't tough it out, then I guess you're just going to have to take it, but it needs to be sparingly. This from the man who can't even tough it out when somebody makes a fucking joke about his ass.
Well, and Mr. Bone Spurs. This is Mr. Bone Spurs that couldn't serve his country because of his bone spurs. Go fuck yourself. Oh God, this guy.
Yeah. But you want to tell pregnant women what they need to tough out?
Not to mention the fact that Tylenol is used to reduce fevers, which fevers can be dangerous to fetuses during pregnancy.
Yes.
So are we really trying to tell women, hey, just leave the fever because you need to toughen it out? Go fuck yourself. Like, seriously, go fucking fuck yourself.
Yeah. But what I love is that again, we're going to blame women.
Of course, we're going to blame women. That's what we do. That's what we do these days. We blame women and trans people. We blame women and trans people. Trans people first, but women where we need to.
But yep.
Okay. Speaking of blaming women, can we talk about the Epstein files?
Yes, please.
And the attempt to deflect the Epstein files by releasing the Amelia Earhart files.
I mean, surely people somewhere were clamoring for that information.
Are they?
Question mark?
Are they?
I don't know, girl. I wasn't.
I've not heard anyone mention the Amelia Earhart files.
I don't know what could be in them.
Yeah.
Other than I'm getting ready to fly my plane. And then that's the last thing you hear. Like, I thought it was pretty well decided that her plane went down somewhere over Bermuda, and that's like the end of the file, right?
Yes. So as of now, the House Oversight Chair has issued subpoenas to the Clintons, Merrick Garland, James Comey for information on the investigation. A third batch of records were released, and in them were the names Steve Bannon, Prince Andrew, which that's not shocking at all.
Right.
And Elon Musk, who's super pissed because the reason his name is in there is like, there's one reference to him visiting. Yes. And is like, is this still on ? And Elon Musk is like, no, it wasn't on. The guy's a fucking idiot. That's the only reason why my name's in the file. So like, he's super pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they have not released any more of the files.
Right.
And so last week we had another big special election where Arizona elected Adelicia Grijalve, who is now the congressional seat for Arizona Southern District. She won on the 23rd, and they have not voted her in because everyone assumes Mike Johnson has not scheduled a vote to get her, not scheduled her swearing in because he claims that it's because the House is not in session.
Right.
However, and the House doesn't return to session until October 7th. However, two Republicans in April were both sworn in within 24 hours in what they call a pro forma session, which is a session that's had outside of like the House being called in session, which we just had a pro forma session called today. And she still was not voted to be sworn in or scheduled that swearing in. Yes. Everyone's like, it's because they're still trying to delay these fucking Epstein files.
Yeah. I mean, she is. So what people need to understand is that not only is this preventing her from being able to sign the document to be the 218th signature to release those files, her constituents do not have representation because she has not been sworn in. She is not able to work in her government office. She is having to borrow space to be able to work. She's attempting to work on behalf of her constituents, even though she hasn't been sworn in. Like, it's just, but it's all because of the Epstein files. Like, can you imagine how I feel now? Like, we have said multiple times, no shit, he's in the files. No shit. But the more that they do to delay, and all this other shit we're doing to deflect, to try to find something else shiny for people to look at, to maybe forget about Epstein, invading Portland and Amelia Earhart and like all the fucking things. Girl, I don't even know that I'm prepared for how bad it might be.
So,
because if it's not that bad and you've done all of this,
you're an idiot. Like, to your point, there has to be something else now in there. Like,
has to be.
To your point, like, just Trump's name showing up that he went to the island 20,000 times.
And in the birthday book, right?
The birthday book, we knew that shit was real. Like, the Bill Clinton being in the Epstein files, not at all a surprise. Like, we all know that's true.
Right.
So there has to be something else fucking major, to your point, for them to be doing this amount of work. I
can't even imagine what it is. At this point, I'm like, this has got to be
so like scandalous. To your point, this could be another like midnight conspiracy theories, because where my mind goes is we know Trump in 2016, there was Russian collusion. We know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's how he won. The fact that he won this last election so easily, I feel like there has to be something tied to rigging these elections that is causing all of this, right? Like I feel like that is because of that, would it throw into question like Mike Johnson? Because at the end of the day,
All
like Mike Johnson protecting Trump just because his name happens to be in the file, like Elon Musk already told us that. We know they were friends. Like I just can't imagine Mike Johnson would be willing to fall on his sword like he is for that. Right. But the fact that like they are hiding as much as they are hiding, like it's got to be good. And it's not Democrats. Because right now
they'd already released it.
That's right.
If it was only Democrats.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. The only thing I can think of if there is like a large Democrat issue in this is if they're trying to hold on to it closer to the midterms, like they're trying to release it closer to the midterms. But even that, I just cannot believe that would be this much like going around how, you know what I'm saying? Like it just, that doesn't 100%. Make sense to me.
No, me either. It's gotta be juicy, whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it being the paying off of the elections.
Well, especially because it would not at all surprise me if Putin's in the Epstein files, right?
Oh, yeah. I figured maybe there was video or photographic evidence.
Oh, well, so I actually took the time while I was off to read the memoir of, what's her name? I always want to call her like Huffington. Who's the memoir of the one that the person that
did you read herself. Her book? His
I haven't read it yet. What's her name? We should know her name.
We should, and I know we talked about her on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and I can't think of what her name is right now.
Yeah, not Jean Carroll. Memoir of Epstein.
Yeah.
Victim. What's her name? Virginia Giuffre.
So
it's supposed to be published on October 21st. And so I'm excited to get it and read it. But all of like her actual testimony was published. And so while I was off, like I downloaded some of her testimony and I was like reading through it. It is graphically detailed about like some of the things that happen that include Trump. So like, that's the thing is the stories are out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And none of that is being attacked the way that releasing these files is being attacked, I guess.
That's true. My point. Yeah.
So I'm with you.
Yeah.
There's got to be something big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of, and I don't know if you heard, but one of the other Epstein victims came out today. And I think she had a press conference just either today or yesterday. And she was talking about how release the fucking files. It's time, release the files. So
good for her.
I feel like, and to be honest, I don't think the list is what they're scared of, because if you notice, like they're talking about releasing a list of people, and I don't think that's what they're scared of. I think, to your point, there's something else in the Epstein files that they really want to keep covered. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of distractions, Amelia Earhart was a good try.
Yeah. Nice.
But the other big one that we are doing right now is we have indicted James Comey.
Yes, sure have.
So this is batshit crazy. Donald Trump appointed a new U.S. attorney who is Lindsay Halligan.
Yeah.
She is 36 years old. She has never been a prosecutor ever. And she had to be appointed because basically no one in the U.S. Attorney General's office would bring charges against Comey.
I mean, makes sense. How much experience do you need as a prosecutor? I mean, I'm sure it's probably just like, riding a bike, right? Like you just do it. It'll be fine.
That's right. As long as you know like the fundamentals, no problem.
It'll be fine.
So she brought 3 charges to a grand jury against James Comey. Basically, all of them were around his testimony about the 2016 investigation into Trump's ties with Russia, which, this is all obvious political retribution against Comey for
Yes.
investigating him.
Yeah.
But the charges are lying to Congress, obstructing a congressional proceeding, and then the third one was making a false statement.
Yeah.
She was able to get the two, which were the lying to Congress and obstructing a congressional proceeding. She was able to get those two charges. Actually, he got indicted on those two charges. And these are based on Comey saying in his testimony that he did not authorize anyone to leak information about a specific FBI investigation. The grand jury, which obviously only hears the side of the prosecutor, said, "Hey, we're not going to charge him on that third charge of false statements." So at this point now, everything coming out of the U.S. Attorney General's office is like she's going to have a big hill to climb. Generally, I guess the lead attorney in a case like this is not the one to bring these cases in front of the grand jury, that it's usually an assistant or someone under her. But from what I'm hearing, they can't find an assistant attorney to work with her on these charges because the charges are so, because the charges are so bad.
Yeah.
The case against him is so bad that no one wants to go down as the person that helped this woman try and bring Comey down.
Yeah.
They said that, I guess, Comey's son-in-law, Troy Edwards, resigned as the office's senior national security prosecutor. And they are anticipating a whole bunch of other people walking out the door. So,
yeah. I have his response to the indictment. Did you see his video on
I did
to Comey's indictment? Okay. So, I think the video was posted to his Blue Sky account, but here's what he said. So his response to the indictment was, "My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right. But I'm not afraid, and I hope you are not either. I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it, which it does. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system. I'm innocent, so let's have a trial and keep the faith." And I saw him speak. So when his book came out, I got tickets, and a girlfriend and I went and sat third row from the stage, and I watched him speak. And again, the man is a human being. He has faults. He has fucked up. He has not done has he never done something that I'm that fucking is, you know what I mean? I don't agree with that. But the man has integrity for miles.
Yes. And
the fact that Trump is picking this fight with him now, again, it's obviously to distract from the Epstein files. It's also retribution because he has said all along that if he ever got in a second time, it would be all about, which is why every single person that he put up for a cabinet position, when they sat in front of Congress, they were all asked, will you be a bludgeon for Trump's, retribution? And, Patel and Hegseth, they all said, "Oh, no, Bondi." They all said, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'll follow the letter of the law." Clearly, that's not true. No. So the fact that Trump has decided to pick the fight with this man, he didn't back down the first time. When Trump demanded an oath of loyalty from him in the fucking White House, and Comey said no, which led to his firing, the fact that he's picking a fight with this man is goddamn comical to me.
So I agree. Of all the people, of all the fucking people.
Yeah.
James Comey. And so, cause they released what the supposed thing that he said when, about this FBI leak, and they're already coming out and are like, okay, she's already got her facts wrong in the case of what they're bringing to him. Yeah. Where basically he said he didn't authorize anyone to leak information. But the reality is what he said was, my testimony hasn't changed since September 17th of whatever year it was or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they're already coming out and saying her case is wrong already.
Dead on arrival.
The basic facts correct.
What a
And
fucking
so,
idiot.
right. And to your point, of all the fucking people who's going to make sure that
Yeah.
they answer all the questions right, that they have handled themselves correctly,
Right.
like, come on.
This
James
man ran the
Comey is that person.
Yeah, like the man ran the Department of Justice. Do you think
Right.
he wasn't appointed by Trump? The man is fucking intelligent. He knows
Yes.
what the fuck he's doing. He's not some goddamn lackey that's never been a fucking prosecutor before, that's been put in a position to make an ass out of herself in
Yeah.
front of everyone
Yeah.
for Daddy Trump. Like,
Yeah.
this is going to be goddamn comical.
I'm curious how quickly this is going to just like how quick it's just going to be like
Before
a
it just
smackdown,
dies.
to your point.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Besides that, Trump also sent this True Social tweet to Pam Bondi where he says Pam, and he writes it like a text message.
Email?
Like, what an idiot.
Or, yeah, like something I know.
Like, Mark's like, did he think he was sending her a text message and put it on True Social? I'm like, I don't know. Like, this is deranged old man shit. Pam,
Yes.
I reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time. All talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past. A woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why two of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit and that we had no case. No, I fired him, and there is a great case, and many lawyers and legal pundits say so. Lindsay Halligan is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. Yeah, this is they impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now.
Justice must be served now.
Yep.
Get on it, Pammy.
Are you fucking kidding me?
The fact that we're leading the country via twats on Truth Social.
Well, no shit. But we just talked about how suppressing free speech that goes against the government is the first step into communism. This is the second. And acting a president using the Department of Justice as retribution to his political enemies is 100% the next step into communism. Like there is no doubt. We're no longer taking baby steps. We're taking large steps.
Yes.
100%.
Even for Trump's small feet, we're taking large steps.
Yes.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
So the Pam Bondi, the James Comey is absolute insanity to me. I cannot believe that this is what's going on.
I can't believe he found somebody else stupid enough to bring the charges when she clearly lacks the skill.
I don't know if she lacks the skills or not. She definitely doesn't have the
prosecutorial experience.
That's right. She doesn't have the experience. She might have the skills. I don't know. But at the end of the day, like, Trump tells you have to do it. And so she's like, okay, I'm going to do it. Like, are you kidding me? No, thank you.
This is where we come up with the morals and the ethics. At some point, you've got to decide how much your soul is worth. Exactly.
That's 1,000%.
If you believe in a soul, you got to decide how much it's worth. Sorry, I don't want to get us back on that tangent.
Okay, so the other big distraction that we had over the weekend is we've declared war on Portland.
Portland. Girl, this shit. I'm living for the Instagram reels from the front lines that I'm seeing of people that live in Portland, like wearing their flannel, talking about the kale being swept up by the National Guard because somebody spilled the kale at the farmer's market. Like, this shit is goddamn hilarious. It is so hilarious. I'm loving it.
So as of September 23rd, Trump has now federalized 200 members of the Oregon National Guard for the next 60 days, claiming that the radical left's reign of terror in Portland ends now. Like, what the fuck?
Radical left's reign of terror in Portland.
So in June, there were some big, protests against ICE. They did have to board up some windows, but that was literally in June. And it was just protests. It was not the biggest story from, like, it wasn't even big enough that we heard anything about it. It did not make national news. The only thing I heard about it is that I still have friends, obviously, that live in the Seattle area. And they were saying that I guess they were using tear gas on the protesters that would move in big clouds around the city, and that it was like bothering like kids at a local school or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And so like that was the biggest story that I heard. Like at the end of the day, it was, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And so like you hear this in June, and I guess there was a conversation between, I can't remember if it was the mayor of Portland or the governor of Oregon. And he's like, well, I've been watching on TV that your city is like ravaged. And she's like, what are you watching? Like,
yeah,
it's
literally.
not.
Yeah.
Like, and to your point, locals are posting pictures of like what the city looks like today. And like, it's just not, nothing is happening.
Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. But he wants a reason to attack American citizens.
Right.
He brought it up today at Hegseth's big thing at Quantico with all the generals, the top administration. Like, he's dying to attack American citizens. So the fact that he can't actually get anything to happen in Portland, and I think that because he is so desperate to attack American citizens with our military, that makes it even more important that when we're protesting, when we're doing these things, that we are not violent, that you cannot give them, because they're itching for a reason to use the military against us. So you have to not take the bait and get violent when
and that's
you're
what the mayor of Portland came out and said. They're rage baiting you. Don't take the bait.
Baiting.
Like,
such a good phrase. Yes,
that's exactly what she came out and said. But at this point now, the city is suing the Trump administration.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. Good for them.
Yes. So as of Sunday, the city is now suing the Trump administration, saying, we don't want you here. The Oregon governor came out and said, there's no insurrection. There is no threat to national security. There's no need for military troops in our major city. Like, the city's like, go fuck yourself, Donald Trump. Like, we don't. And, you know, what's crazy to me is, like, I'm surprised that he has picked, like, Portland of all places. Are you kidding me?
I don't know why. Well, and like, what daily briefing? Because we know he doesn't read. So what is he getting in his daily briefings?
He said he's seeing it on TV. Like what are you watching? Are you watching like, are you watching a war television show and someone's telling you that's Portland?
That's
like,
Portland?
What are you watching?
It makes no sense.
No, nothing at all. So so there's that. And then today, so again, we talked about there being a pro forma session to try and stop a government shutdown.
Yes.
So we know that the Republicans had forced through a extension of like financing that at the time Democrats signed because they didn't want to look like the party that was, shutting down the government. And you and I were extremely critical of the Democrats for doing that, and still are, because fuck you, Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
So this time they're saying no.
Yeah, they're holding their ground.
Have said that. So I guess two proposals were brought, one that was written by Republicans and one that was written by Democrats. And the big sticking point was that they're failing to extend federal subsidies for Obamacare. And because of that, a lot of people will be uncovered. In fact, they're looking at like 2 million people that'll end up being uncovered by not extending those federal subsidies for Obamacare. Both of them were voted no. The Republicans need 7 Democrats to join them in order to be able to pass some sort of budget. The Democrats said, no, we're not going to do that. Both Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries have come out and told them, hey, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what's crazy. On the HUD website today, have you heard this?
I don't know. I don't think so.
On the HUD website, which is a government website, a message appears, a pop-up appears that says, The radical left are going to shut down the government and inflict massive pain on the American people unless they get their 1.5 trillion wish list of demands. The Trump administration wants to keep the government open for the American people. On the White House website, again, a government website, at the top is a running red banner that reads, Democrat shutdown. Democrats in their own words, watch now. And below it, it's got a timer that says the Democrat government shutdown is starting in this many hours, this many minutes. What a piece of fucking shit. You run the White House. You run the Supreme Court. You run both houses.
Both houses of Congress.
And you are going to claim that it is Democrats that have shut down this government. Go fucking fuck yourself.
And people are going to believe it. And here's the thing. It's because they also came out and he said that the government agencies that there will not be furloughs. There will be mass firings.
That he's just going to lay people off.
Yep. They will not they will not have their jobs. They will fire them. And it's all to own the libs. It's all to lay the blame at the feet of the Democrats for the reason that this government shutdown is happening. Although, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was interrupting you. Go ahead.
The 2 prior government shutdowns happened during his first presidency.
Yep.
So there's that.
Yeah.
This is kind of a running theme with him, and when they have control of everything.
It really is. Trump told reporters in the Oval Office that a shutdown is likely because what he described as Democrats insisting on providing Medicaid health insurance for undocumented and immigrants. We'll probably have a shutdown, Trump said. Nothing is inevitable, but I would say it's likely. Republican leaders said their aim is to prevent undocumented immigrants from receiving Medicaid benefits and to require 80 hours of work to volunteer service per month to receive benefits. Chuck Schumer comes out and says, not a single sentence or clause or comma in our bill does that.
Right.
Senator Patty Murray from Washington came out and says, if it seems like I love this so much. If it seems like the only sentence that Republicans can form these days consists of a noun, a verb, and illegal immigrant, that's because they have to resort to outright lies to defend their truly god-awful healthcare policies.
Yes.
At this point, 10 million people are expected to lose coverage under the changes, according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. The figure includes 7.5 million losing Medicaid and 2.1 million losing coverage under Obamacare. That's all according to the USA Today. Yeah. Like, I just can't believe we are at the point where the government is shutting down and we are posting on all the government run web pages, this is a Democrat shutdown. Go fucking fuck yourself. You run every branch of the fucking government. Are you kidding me?
And, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that the second shutdown of his first presidency was like 30 days, 35 days, some shit like that. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how long this one goes.
Well, because there's no motivation, I feel like, on either. I don't know that there's motivation on either side to like.
No, because if the Republicans think they're owning the libs on this and that they're going to be able to blame the Democrats and people are going to believe it, they'll hold out.
And I feel like the Democrats at this point, if they cave, it would be a mutiny. Like, I feel like it would be a mutiny. You know what I'm saying? More so than it already is. So anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's happening.
It's shutting
but
down.
The government is shutting down
as
of midnight tonight. What's that?
Yeah. Oh, it's shutting down. There's no way. Yeah. Like, I got a news alert that they've already started the protocols, the shutdown protocols. Like, there's no way they're coming to an agreement. Because like you said, both sides have now dug their heels in and it's just not happening. So it's going to be interesting to see how long it lasts, how long people are, certain positions have to work without being paid, including your military, and, other people are going to lose their jobs.
Yeah. Well, and Trump keeps threatening that it's going to be liberal government programs that are going to get hit. And the sad part is he's probably right. But at the end of the day, like,
and they've already been hit.
Medicare, Medicaid are too important for us to not defend, is my feeling on it. So,
yes.
Okay. The last item that I have on I know we have other things, but we are approaching an hour and 10 minutes because we have so much stuff. So, the last thing that I just wanted to quickly hit on.
Yeah.
So Pete Hegseth decides he wants to be a boss for a day.
Yeah.
So he forces all of his generals. Well, that's like, they say that honestly,
so
like there's not a reason. There's no reason why he wanted to, but he decides that he's going to have to get like every senior military officer to fly in to Arlington, and so that he can talk to them. And they called it like a rally the troops moment, right?
Yeah. Cause it was all the top admirals and generals. Like, it's fucking nuts. It was nuts.
And he says there will be no fat troops or fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
Which, okay, I find this insane considering that the president is the commander-in-chief of the military and he is not the picture of skinny healthness. And again,
is Trump allowed to walk around the Pentagon if no fat people can walk around the Pentagon? I'm just asking for a friend.
Exactly. Right? And not that being skinny means you're healthy, but clearly that's what Hegseth believes.
Oh,
and so maybe now we can get the government to approve to force insurance companies to cover the fat shot.
Yeah. So before Captain Vonnie, this is on CNN, of hundreds of senior military officers to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth asserts his vision for the U.S. military with the stark conclusion, if you don't agree, resign. He said that past efforts were deemed woke at promoting diversity or accommodating troops. He said there will only be male physical standards for combat jobs. And if that means there are no women in those roles, it is what it is. So, like, clearly we are reforming the military to be only skinny men. Like,
I guess.
Okay.
I don't.
Because to your point, I have been overweight most of my life with a lot of that time being obese. And I'm like the one that has the low blood pressure, the low heart, cholesterol.
Yeah.
I have a remarkably low resting heart rate, like so low that when I went in to get my arm surgery, and don't get me wrong, I take the fat shot because I take the fat shot. But so much so that when I went in for my arm surgery, my resting heart rate is so low that it set off the alarms because my blood pressure is so low that it set off all the alarms. She's like, are you normally like, is your resting heart rate this low? I'm like, always. She's like, are you a runner? I'm like, no, I'm not a fucking runner. Do I look like a runner? She's like, your resting heart rate's really, I'm like, because to your point, weight does not equal healthy. No matter what, it just does not equal healthy. And so like the fact that we're focused on fat, okay, that's like insanity. But then to be like, we're going to rally the troops by getting everyone in front of us and being like, you can't be fat anymore. Like, what is that?
I know.
This is the weirdest meeting ever.
And Trump's like rambling speech up there to the troops, it was it was crazy.
So that's the other thing that like they said was like, and of course, Hegseth vowed on Tuesday that the department would be undertaking a review of words like hazing and bullying, which he says has been weaponized. I'm like, okay, are you okay? It says he said, we unleash overwhelming and punishing violence on the enemy, Hegseth said. We also don't fight with stupid rules of engagement. Right. We untie the hands of our war fighters to intimidate, demoralize, hunt, and kill the enemies of our country. No more politically correct and overbearing rules of engagement. And this is particularly interesting after we just like violated international war rules by fucking blowing up a Venezuelan ship that we believe had drugs on board. Like, this is insanity, right? This is just absolute fucking insanity.
And part of what I had just said earlier about how Trump's itching to attack the American people with our military. He stood up there today and said, that there is a war from within, that and compared domestic threats to foreign enemies. The ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. This is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war too. It's a war from within.
Well, it's the same thing about declaring Antifa as an as a terrorist organization.
As a terrorist organization.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Does he know Antifa is not an actual organization? Like, Antifa just means anti-fascist. Like, there's not.
I know he has to have been told that. He's not retaining it because he thinks everyone on the left is part of Antifa. I mean, part of what he told there was over 800 generals and admirals there today. And what he said was, we should use some of the dangerous cities as training grounds for the military.
Yes.
Like, it's
deranged.
Well, and there is no, like, this whole, like, he's saying the quiet part out loud. He's been doing it the entire time. So at some point, like, while I'm saying we can't be violent, I think you have to be smart about how you're going to defend yourself, because his every intention is to march the military into anywhere he can, and
declare war on its citizens, especially like ultra blue cities. Yep. All he wants to do Portland. Is go in and start shooting U.S. citizens, and it's insanity. Yep. Like, this is our third step into fucking communism. So like declaring war on Portland, getting up and saying that we can have no fat military is bizarre, but do you the underlying truth is that it's because, like, Hegseth said something like, oh, we're back in the era of Schwarzkopfs and Pattons. And I'm just like, Patton.
Oh my God. And, like, do you think he should have really been forced to take a breathalyzer before he got up there today and just started riffing about, under my orders, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, goddamn, just off the fucking charts.
Yeah, it really is. Okay. Besides that, again, I know we have a couple of other items on our list. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk through today? Because we are almost at an hour and 20 minutes.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's do our happy ending.
Okay. Let's get into a better frame of mind.
Yes.
For a happy ending.
I think you're actually going to like this. Although I did realize later after I chose it that, like, I think our very last podcast, also kind of dealt with this, but this is a lot less, like, medical. I don't know. Because anyway, so this is a study that's come out that says living with purpose may protect your brain from dementia, which I think living with purpose is obviously, like, we all need that, right? So, so a new research has come out from UC Davis that shows that having a sense of purpose in life may have another benefit as people age. They're reducing the risk of dementia. So in a new study that was published in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry, followed over 13,000 adults between the ages of 45 and older for over 15 years. So, like, that's a big ass fucking study, like, long time. Yeah. Researchers found that people who reported a higher sense of purpose in life were 28% less likely to develop cognitive impairment, including mild cognitive impairment and dementia. The protective effect of having a purpose was seen across all racial and ethnic groups, and it remains significant even after accounting for education, depression, and the APOE4 gene, which is a known risk factor for Alzheimer's. So, and the sense of purpose can be as easy at, your relationships, caring for family, spending time with grandchildren, supporting a spouse or friend, work or volunteering, spirituality or faith, personal goals, helping others, running a podcast, whatever it may be. Like, whatever your sense of purpose may be. So yeah, it said researchers found that people with higher purpose tended to experience cognitive decline later than those with lower purpose. On average, the delay of onset was very modest, about 1.4 months over an 8-year period, after considering all the other effects. But because purpose in life is free, it's readily accessible, everybody can, you know what I mean? It's something you can figure out at an early age in midlife, how to live with purpose, and then it will help you later. So
nice.
I just thought that was kind of like, whatever, a little uplifting.
Yeah, it's uplifting. But I got to be honest, I like your animal stories better. So next week, see if you can find an animal story.
Stories, because I don't give a fuck about cognitive decline.
I mean, I do, but let's be honest. Like, I'm pretty sure.
You don't care about living with purpose?
Well, I've got we've got a purpose, and that's, what it is. But here's my thing. At the end of the day, the dementia is harder on those around you than it is on you, is what they say. Like, it's like your family's disease or whatever. And so I appreciate the information, because I will say that I've had family and friends that have lost people to dementia, and it is heartbreaking to hear those stories, because it really is awful. But I like having pictures of Pudge the cat. I like so next time, like, I would love a good animal story, because I feel like the only thing good left in the world these days are
the animals. Okay.
Yeah.
I will give you an animal story next time.
Okay. I appreciate you. Okay. Well, on that note, but I am, because I also read something about, like, there's a new protein that they've been investigating for dementia, like that it could result in a better dementia care treatment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I read something that, like, researchers have found a new something or other that they're investigating for treating cancer. And it was, like, fairly successful in treating, like, multiple cancers. So, like, if there's one thing that I actually can appreciate these days, is that everybody agrees that Tylenol and autism is fucking stupid. And, like, we really need to do a lot more to research things that are important. So that's good.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah. All right, my dear. Well, this has been an extra long episode of Find Out Nation. We appreciate all of you guys hanging in there and joining us. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you want to get updated on new podcasts, or if you're listening, make sure you subscribe on wherever you get your podcasts. I do have some stuff on, like, Gaza, and I know you have Department of Education stuff, so we might try and sprinkle that in next week. But we'll see if we get there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Regardless, I appreciate you having some patience with me while I go through my journey over the last 2 weeks. So
you're healing.
Appreciate you guys coming back and watching.
Yes.
With that said, we love you, and we hope you have a fabulous week. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.